What's up, guys? Jay Martin here. Hope you're having a great day so far. Thanks for spending your time for watching this video. Hope you get something out of it by the end. Please let me know if you do. I'd always love to know. So, you want to be more focused in whatever you're doing. Here are some methods and principles you can take away. I guarantee you can take away something in this video, and it'll be massively beneficial to you. These are life lessons, something you apply to in all aspects in life. You can even go as far as to call it a mantra, something you repeat every now and then. So it can orient you in a way that it can be useful to your relationships, useful to how you tackle things, and things of that nature. It won't just make you more productive and hyper focused, it'll also help you buy more time and save you energy. If you stick in to the end and nothing brought you any sort of value, feel free to give this video a dislike, because that'll make sure I provide something better in the future. By the way, check the description for highlighted things to note. So my first advice is not the typical advice you'd normally hear, but it's an interesting one. So if you pay attention to your internal monologue, aka the things you tend to say to yourself in your head, you notice the brain has a strange tendency to attach random thoughts to something by default. So, my first tip to being focused is to keep an eye on your internal monologue. And I want you to think of it in this analogy. In a way, your brain is kind of like a powerful computer. Given that thought, if you look at your brain in a computer programming sense, try to run your brain in debugging mode as much as possible, which is the process of identifying and removing errors. Play along with me here. Here's a rhetorical question. Have you ever experienced being in a little fantasy where you imagine yourself answering a bunch of future questions or planning some future scenario and fantasy answering them? Typically, it happens when you're in your own thoughts alone. And in that awareness, you get into that debugging mode and you realize, do I really need to care about this problem right now while I'm brushing my teeth? Or something completely unrelated, like when you're taking a shower. Just the awareness that your brain is overthinking or overanalyzing, running off to the future. And then in that next moment, you're off to thinking something else. And then you look at the brain again and say, do I really need to solve this problem right now? And the reality of it, 95% of what your brain runs off and tries to do, you don't need to tackle at that exact moment. In fact, if it's like a muscle, then it's better off resting it, being at peace and at a better state of mind. And when the particular problem arises, immerse yourself in it. So that's been really helpful for me right now. And as we're talking, I'm sort of practicing it, fully dedicating my, say, 10 minutes speaking on this video. It's being present in this conversation or in future conversations that you have, starting from today. Like, just be present. You can call it a principle or a mantra. Just be present on what you're facing right now. I found that to be helpful in my relationships. In a social situation, the best gift you can give someone is personal attention. When it comes to work, save the work until you get to the office. Save the work until you get to the work. Don't try to get to the office on the way to work. On the way to work, enjoy the way. When you're driving, enjoy the drive. When you're eating, enjoy the meal. Then go to work when you get to work. Don't mix the two. I also found this to be really helpful. Concentration, focus on one thing. That was a little inspiration from Jim Rohn. Here's another one. Learn to say no. In such a social society right now, it's so easy to be obligated to so many things, saying yes, yes, yes to everything, and then all of a sudden, having so many things to do. It's just, oh, the struggle to back out because you said yes too quickly. So we know objectively what foods make us feel lethargic, which places we go to that doesn't serve us in any way, and the people too. People who inherently suck the energy out of you. It takes up our time, our focus, and our resources. We all know these things objectively. It's like playing a video game, and it's up to you to see that video game problem. Those people, those places, those things. Stop giving them your time and energy. Stop making those mistakes. And when you do this, when you quit going there and you quit giving them your time, you magically find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you. So refrain from saying yes too much to things that you know you'll regret. Don't let your mouth overload your back. And guess what happens? You've just eliminated the who's, the where's, and the when's that were keeping you from your thing. I think the world is rigged in a way that it'll give you exactly what you desire for. Anything that you possibly want. The impacts of good decision making are much higher than what you could possibly imagine. We're all one idea away from the so called $1 million idea. So, a clear mind leads to better judgment, leads to better decisions, leads to better outcome. So, a happy, calm, peaceful person will make better decisions and have better outcomes. But the catch is, you can't have too many desires. There's only so many that we could work on simultaneously. So, stay focused, be present, and whatever the goal is in your mind, the universe will give it to you. And it sounds so pretentious, but it's so practical because by narrowing your desires, by narrowing your options, you can be hyper focused on the things that matter, getting rid of the excess, the wasted time. 99% of things don't matter, so don't overwhelm yourself so you don't get too bogged down by anything. Complexity is the enemy of execution. So get on debugging mode. Identify and remove all the errors. Give your brain some rest. Be present in the task you're doing. Don't mix two things at once. Multitasking doesn't always produce the best results. It causes cognitive interruptions when you're not situationally aware. Data shows people who try to multitask while driving makes up the largest reason for car accidents. Why is that? The best gift you can give something or someone is your undivided attention. 99% of things don't really matter, so learn how to say no. It doesn't mean you're a mean person. You've got things to do. You've got stuff to deal with. People will understand that. Don't let your mouth overload your back. And lastly, but most importantly, have an enormous amount of gratitude and a perspective on what it all means in the grand scheme of things, period. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed and want to check out more of my stuff, I've got other personal development content as well as a few other things in my channel. So I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, let me know down in the comments. I'd always love to know. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And of course, peace and love.